On Daf 10 of Shkalim, the Gemara goes through what money is allocated to for all the different needs of the temple. But one need is it's pretty bizarre, and it's the ramp for the scapegoat. So the scapegoat is taken on Yom Kippur. This is why the term the scapegoat comes from. It's like the sins of the nation are put onto this goat. Now, the goat can just, with the Kohen who's leading it, can just walk out the door and walk on its way somewhere out towards where modern day Mali Adumim is, somewhere out there where it's literally thrown off this cliff and all of our sins supposedly get purified with it. It's pretty bizarre custom. But they didn't just walk it out the door. Why? Well, kind of like the scapegoat name signifies, there's a lot of scapegoating that's going on here. And as the Kohen would be leading this goat out, the people, especially those who came up from Babylon for Yom Kippur, would pull at the guy's hair and say take our sins and go. They would taunt the guy leading the scapegoat as if he was somehow responsible for their sins or whatever it happened to be. They would taunt him, they'd pull at his hair. And so to protect him, they built a ramp from the temple over to the Mount of Olives so he could bypass the huge crowds and not get attacked when leading the goat out of the courtyard. But here's the kicker. This is why it's in Shkalim. How do we pay for this ramp? It's not really a necessary part of the temple construction. It has no absolutely legally required purpose. If the people could act like mensches, if they could behave themselves, there'd be no need for the ramp at all. So it's not part of the basic necessities of the temple. Therefore, it's not paid for from that kind of the basic allocations of the money. There's no money allocated for the building and the upkeep of this ramp because it's theoretically shouldn't be necessary at all. So where does it get paid for? There's a bit of a debate. Some say, okay, if there's leftover money, we take that money, we dedicate that towards creating this ramp. And others say, no, it gets built by the Kohen Gadol. The Kohanim themselves basically raise the money to be covering the cost of this ramp that is for their needs to protect them from the atrocities of the people. So it's just this fascinating idea. It's okay, what is a necessity that's not really a necessity? It's required because the way the people behave, but since the people could theoretically behave better, it's not going to be in the core allocations of money, and therefore we need to find a way to get extra funds to cover the construction of this ramp for the scapegoat and the guy who's leading the scapegoat. It might be like the scapegoat's scapegoat.